Podcast, episode 42. My name is Chris. I'm joined today by my co-host, Michael.
Hello.
Isaiah.
Hello.
And we are here with the greatest drummer in the entire world, Bryce Butler of Shadow of Intent. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's fucking cold out here.
Yeah, it is, bro.
But we're making the most of it.
Absolutely.
We gotta do what you gotta do.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, fuck this weather.
It's freezing out here.
The Northeast, bro. It's very brutal.
I'm gonna give a thank you now for coming out to do this, because
Of course, man.
this isn't the most ideal conditions.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
you could have stayed in there in the nice.
Yeah,
warm.
you could have said, hey.
We're on a nice
yourself.
warm,
Nah, fuck 'em.
nice warm park bench,
Nah,
Yeah.
and we're gonna talk about some drumming, some metal, and some.
That sounds
Yeah.
perfect.
So let's talk about the tour 1st.
Mhm.
How is it going so far overall?
It's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, score out of 10.
11 out of 10, bro.
It's a pretty good score, I guess.
For sure. Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, like almost a 2-year break, you know? And then it's like nothing ever happened. Like, for real. It's
Yeah.
like nothing ever happened. Kids are coming out like crazy. Merch sales are literally better than they've ever been for like every band ever. And it's like sick as fuck. It's a dream come true, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, I
fucking
feel like
good.
everybody's starting to show their support because they realize how fast it can be just taken away.
Exactly. I think that's the main thing is like we realized like we were hoping this would happen, but it's just solidified that people really were like pent up so much for 2 years that
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like so ready to support, and it's the sickest ever, dude.
Yeah,
It's
like my
fucking awesome.
first show back, like real big show, was a Kublai Khan show. And I've never gone so crazy show in my entire life. I was like, wow, this
What
is...
tour was that?
It was just this past August with I Am and Chamber.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
good.
Those bands are sick as fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
and they are the nicest people ever.
They
Kublai
are.
Khan, they're so nice.
They are, dude.
They put on a show.
They do, dude. They're sick.
Yeah.
I Am and fucking Kublai Khan are Texas boys.
Oh yeah, great.
course.
I'm so excited to see you guys. I've been like such a huge fan. I got into you guys actually over COVID.
Really?
I found you guys on a playlist. I was like, oh, these guys are fucking good. It's brutal.
Remember which song?
It was The Heretic Prevails.
Nice,
Yeah.
of course. Of course.
Yeah, and then the last part kicks in. I'm like, holy shit, yo.
dude. Yeah, that fucking breakdown, bro. So
Yeah.
sick.
And then I heard songs like Melancholy and the new shit I love.
Thank you, bro.
It's super dark. Like, it reminds me of like a battle anthem.
Yeah. The whole album is literally about actual wars that people like don't know about.
Oh, yeah?
The entire album. Like, Ben is a super history buff. Like, he's obsessed with history, and his grandfather was literally in World War II. And so he's like super obsessed with that, and every song on this album is about like a major war where like crazy shit happened that most people don't know about.
Oh wow.
And it's really cool.
So what was it like getting Phil Bozeman on the track?
Oh my god, dude. Me and Ben, like, that's for sure probably Ben's third favorite vocalist behind Michael Ackerfeld, but not from Opeth when he did Bloodbath.
Mm-hmm.
That's like his second favorite band, and his first favorite band is obviously Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
Because he sounds just like him too. So we were actually supposed to get Corpse Grinder from Cannibal originally, but they're fucking recording another album already.
Oh yeah.
They literally just put out an album and they're already recording another one. Like, they're going back
That's
to
crazy.
like an album a year again. I think they're going to go back to that.
Oh wow.
So we weren't able to get him, but Ben actually reached out to Phil, and Phil is like a fan of Ben apparently now.
Oh really?
Like, actually, yeah. He was like, yo, like,
Here comes the car.
Oh, you're good.
Go ahead.
Phil said to Ben, he was like, I literally think you're like one of the best vocalists out there right now.
Oh wow.
And he was like, I would love.
Works out like that.
Yeah, it's insane. And Ben was like shitting his pants. So yeah, he agreed to do it, and it was like a really sick price. It was like not near as much as we would have thought, and he did it in like a day, and it was amazing.
He just one take Draked it.
Yeah, he literally. Like, I'm pretty sure he did. Like it was insane. And because we had a super time crunch because we had to turn the album in for like vinyls, and that was another reason we couldn't get Corpse Grinder, because we couldn't wait. If we could have waited, we just would have got him. But he was super down to do it and sent it, and we were like shitting our pants. We're like, dude, we've literally listened to this band, for like fucking 15
Yeah.
years. It's just crazy.
That's awesome.
Same with Boo, dude. Like, to be on this tour with Born of Osiris, and we've listened to them since we were like, I'm almost 30, and I found him when I was like 15. This is insane, And then we have a tour with Cannibal Corpse. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Not a big deal.
You know what I mean? Like, what is happening? Like, dude, we're like,
Yeah, you're at that point where you just lay there and you're just like, what the fuck is going
Yeah,
on?
you
in
feel
my
on top
life?
of the
Like,
world.
legitimately.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really hard to process like what's happening because it's just your dreams. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
When did this happen, bro?
Yeah, I could tell how happy you are about it. You're getting super excited just even talking about it.
It definitely shows how
Thank you.
appreciative you are.
Did you
man.
hear the Ice Nine Kills with Cannibal Corpse on it?
Yes, dude.
That was sick.
Dude, that band is
expect that.
amazing. Ice Nine
Oh, yeah.
Kills is amazing.
I wasn't into Ice Nine Kills until I went to Blue Ridge Rock Fest 2 months ago, and then I was backstage for them. I was watching them, and I was like, "This is insane! I love these guys now." So
Oh,
now
they're
I listen to
insane.
them religiously.
They're so
It's
sick.
crazy.
Dude, it's such a small world. They're on tour. They're about to go on tour with Currents, which is Chris's other band from
Yeah.
Shadow, which means that he has to get they're only going to have one guitarist until our tour is over.
Oh,
and
really?
then when our tour is over, he's going to meet up with them.
He's gonna jump
And
on.
then the weird thing is, the guy filling in on guitar for Ice Nine Kills was Darth Vader when I played for Galactic Empire.
What a small world. That's
I'm like,
crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck is happening? It's insane, dude. It's so cool.
Everything is just like interlocking, connecting.
The whole scene is just locked
It is.
together. And they don't
Dude, the
even
whole
know.
music industry is literally just like a giant web.
We've talked about this.
And
in
you'll
another
you'll
episode.
realize that like that's really all it is. Like you'll just start somewhere. Somebody told me this. You're like, it's 3 or 5. It's like you're only 3 or 5 people away from
From like
somebody.
knowing everybody. Yeah.
Right, basically.
We
Yeah,
had
I've
it-
seen that. I've seen
Yeah.
that.
We had an episode like this where we were just talking about how like in the scene, like everything is like interconnecting and it's like one
Yeah.
big chain
Full
reaction.
circle.
And full,
Yeah.
full circle. Like how, because people were just different bands were saying stories about how, oh, this guy, we know this guy, we knew this guy, and like,
Yep.
like that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
You all know each other somehow.
That's how, and it's like, it's fucking insane. That's like how all of this happens. Like all of this started because I played for the Faceless, and I was in that band for like 4 months, and then I got my name out there, and then that was it. And then you just start getting messages from all these people, and then that's the same thing with Shadow. Like I got this random message from Chris one day on Facebook Messenger because Anthony Barone couldn't do a tour, and they were like, "Do you want to fill in?"
From this Chris.
And I was like, yeah, sure. And just thinking it was going to be a fill-in gig. And then the next thing you know, Anthony got a bigger gig and took that. And then they were like, do you want, and you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is happening, dude? Everything, you just take the opportunity because what are you going to do? Say no?
Exactly.
But you never think that it's going to be what it becomes. You know,
Yeah.
it just proves like you can't miss an opportunity. If
Can't
it doesn't
take it
work
for
out the way you want, it's fine. You're
Yeah,
going to
you
get
just gave
something
really
out of
good
it.
advice, like just
You
go
know?
do it to get your name out there.
Absolutely.
Like you said, you just went out there, did it, and then you started getting messages. And
Yeah,
that's how it
it's
works.
like another step in its own. You know, it's like just one more step towards
It's the leap of
doing
faith,
the bigger
dude.
thing.
Yeah, it all starts
Yeah.
with the leap of faith.
Another thing coming full circle, 2 bands that are playing tonight. Knights of Malice is the local band that's playing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We've had them on the podcast twice. Sentinels we've had on.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a couple days after they got signed to Sharp Tone, we had them on.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, great guy. It's good to see them do big things now.
They deserve it, dude.
Like
They
they were just a
literally
local
deserve it.
band, you know, from around here, you know,
Right.
a year or 2 ago, and now they're doing, you know, huge tours.
They
so.
should be though, dude, because like realistically, like they literally sound like Meshuggah fucked Viljarda fucked Tony Danza.
yeah.
Like, but like literally just as good. Like it's literally just as professional musically. It sounds like literally like those 3 bands
They're
put together.
extremely tight
It's
live.
insane.
Yeah, they're
It's literally
great.
insane. The fact that they're not way bigger already is insane, but it's good because they're getting what they deserve finally.
Yeah,
So
I remember
it's okay.
listening to them a year ago, and they had like 1,500 monthly listeners on
Yeah.
Spotify,
Mhm.
and now they're at like 60,000.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
it's amazing.
yeah,
yeah,
and they're all amazing people too. So they definitely
That's the
deserve
key.
That.
That's the key, dude. And I think that's what helps this shit happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we haven't met any bad people that
Oh,
we've
yeah,
had on
no,
this podcast.
everybody's been
Everyone's been
great people.
phenomenal. Like I was telling these guys, like I was on the phone with them, like this past week. I'm like, yo, Bryce is the nicest dude. He replies so fast. He doesn't give me one word answers. What a great guy.
no way.
He's not lying either. Like
Yeah,
it's
he
in
takes
it's in
on the-
writing.
Yeah, I was like,
Of
this
course.
guy's a great dude. Yeah.
I try, man. That is one thing that's really hard that I have struggled with is like getting, you know, when you get your name out there more and you get all these more followers and shit, you get a lot of you start getting like a lot of messages, and it sucks because I'm the type of person that my whole life has always tried to get back to everyone, and I'm literally at a point now where it is literally not possible. Like it's just not possible, and that sucks for me because I care about people and I want people to feel good, but unfortunately, like there's just some people that I just don't even see their shit, and it makes me sad because I don't want them to think that I'm mean or like ignoring them or something.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I was able to like see your message and do this because I love this shit.
Yeah, we were actually on our way up to a friend's house when I messaged you, and I saw you wrote back as I was driving, so I parked and I read it. I was like, holy shit, this is happening. We got Bryce from Shadow and Ton of the podcast, guys. Like, holy shit.
That's so sick.
Yeah, like we're starting to get like the bigger guests now. Like, you know, we've done Lorna Shore. We actually did Will before he was announced in Lorna Shore.
Oh, wow.
That was cool. We were his first interview ever.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was shocked when I heard that. I'm like, how has no one fucking heard of this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you know, we did Kublai Khan, Last 10 Seconds of Life, and it's so cool, like, to talk to, like, local bands, and then, you know, national acts, international acts, you know, you guys, just to hear, like, everyone's almost the same person. They're just genuine people who love what they do.
We started the same, dog.
Yeah, like, everyone starts the same.
Like, I've literally paid money to open for Born of Osiris.
Yeah.
Multiple times. And Veil of Maya. And now we're getting paid to play with them. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But it literally just goes to show, man, like, I truly tell everyone, like, my advice if you want to be like a professional musician, it is more about how you treat people and how you carry yourself than how talented you are all day long. Like, I'm telling you right now, I will admit to you all day long, I have beat out better drummers than me for gigs because I'm more fun to tour with, period. Because when you go, you know what I mean? Like, this dude might rip harder than me, but he's fucking complaining every goddamn day. And negative. And I'm not even talking about anyone like in particular. This is just like, it's very common, and I've heard this a lot, you know. But they'll be super negative and complain about everything, and like, I'm sorry, but like, no one wants to be around that. I don't care if you're the best fucking drummer in the world or the best musician in the world. That's annoying. Like, I'm sorry, that's annoying. But what people do want to be around is like somebody that's uplifting and like positive and happy and grateful.
Yeah, that you look forward to seeing.
Yeah, because we fucking struggled to be here, bro. Like, I literally sold my bed. I sold my entire room when I was 16 for my drum set that I have now. I literally slept on floors and couches for 7 years because I want this that bad, and I'll never forget that. So when I see local bands and shit opening up, like, I'll go out of my way to like watch their set, compliment them if I feel the need. I'm not gonna, you know, suck somebody's dick just to be nice. Like that, I think that's also wrong. You know what I mean? I think honesty is the best. But if they're sick and I watch them, I'm gonna say that he's sick. And when I was a kid and I paid to open for these bands and they said that shit to me, it made me cry. It like meant the world to me. And not that I'm like important now, but it's starting to seem like crazy it is. There's like kids that are coming up to me. Like, one of the shows on this tour, dude, I cried because there was like an 8-year-old or 9-year-old kid that came up to me and said, "You're the reason that I play drums."
That's
and I was like, I literally broke down crying and hugged him and like took a picture with him and gave him some sticks because I was like, this doesn't seem real to me. Like, I was you. I was literally you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can never forget that.
You saw yourself in the kid.
Literally, yeah. And I think that's the most important thing is, like, I don't care. You know, I'm not on a bandwagon yet, but I will be. That's like, that's the next goal. The next goal after that is obviously tour bus. The next goal after that is obviously stadium tours. After that, there's nothing else. Yeah. So, but when I get to that point, I've sworn to myself and everyone in my life that, like, I will never be a bitch. I'll never be an asshole. I'll never act like I'm cooler, like, because I will never forget where I came from, you know. And I think that's the most important thing.
You know what it's like not to have it.
Right. Yeah. I've literally, dude. I started touring when I was 16. I'm 29 now, so I've toured for 13 years. I didn't make a penny from tour from 16 to 21. Toured for free. Didn't make a single penny. Literally slept on the ground of the Walmart parking lot multiple times. Slept in the cracks in between seats. Like, literally the shittiest sleeping situations that you can imagine. Sleeping sitting up in a chair every night. Like, literally the worst possible touring. It can't literally get worse than that. And that was the first 6 years of my touring experience. Yeah. So everything that I get to do is better than that. That's why I'm in a good mood every day, bro. Yeah, every like, when I wake up, I'm like, I get to tour in a fucking Sprinter with 2 queen beds in it. What That's the fuck amazing. Is this? We got power. We have power in here. Like, that alone, dude, is how am I going to be in a bad mood? And then when it gets better than that, I'm just going to be even in a better mood every day. You know what I mean? Yep. It's just how it has to be. I really think it's how
that's
it has
actually
to be.
Really good to hear. And I think that's like, you made a great point. Like, that I don't think anyone could have said that better.
Thank you.
So it's really good to see you're such a grateful guy. You know, all these guys we talk to really are. Like, going from like the smallest local bands to like the biggest bands. I think everyone is grateful because, you know, if you remember where you came from, you'll be appreciative every single day.
Absolutely. And then like when bad stuff happens, it's not that bad because it's been worse. Yeah. I've been through worse. Like, even if something goes crazy and, like, we've had technical difficulties on this tour and shit, but, dude, there's more people here than, like, I'm used to playing to every night. We're playing with bands that, like, I've dreamed of touring with. So, like, is it really that bad? No.
And then you're playing an international tour.
Right. It's
with
insane.
Last 10, Angel Maker.
Yep.
That's I wish that was here.
I did too.
That's
Oh,
gonna be a good one.
Like, I saw that tour. I'm like, oh my god, where is it at? Oh, shit,
Well,
Germany?
I can't say much, but we are definitely going to do a U.S. version of that
Interesting.
at some point next year.
Can you guys take your van on the Autobahn when you're out there?
Yeah, right.
I wish.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah.
No, we have to rent. We have to fucking. The thing with Europe, with like Europe tours, is you have to fucking rent a bus, and it's $50,000 for the tour.
damn.
What?
Literally, it's $50,000 for the tour, but every band shares it.
Okay.
Okay,
But still, it's like fucking $12,000 a band, dog.
Yeah, I mean that's still pretty
So
bad.
yeah, so it's a little scary, but the cool thing is you don't have to worry about anything because you don't drive. Like everything's on the opposite side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not gonna drive because we would fucking
Yeah.
kill
yeah.
ourselves. So we
dive
just
one at the parking lot.
right. So part of the payment is for a driver as well. So like it's kind of sick because we've never, in the U.S. you have to drive everywhere yourself. You just have to take
Yeah.
shifts, and it's cool, but that's crazy because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to drive it. You can just sleep if you want. Like that's crazy. Like I'm used to fucking every band I've been in. I'm like I drive a lot normally. I used to be like the main driver for most bands. With this band, everyone drives an equal amount, which is really cool. But you still, dude, like if it's like a fucking 12-hour drive, which happens, 10-hour drive, if everyone else is tired, or if like I don't drink at all, like literally at all, and I never will. So like there's nights when like Suffocation came out to a show the other night to like hang with us, which was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Like they're friends now? Like what is happening? So they came out and they're wild, dude. They're fucking wild. They're New York boys all day. So they were buying people shots, and so basically everyone in the band had a little bit to drink except for me. And it's not the end of the world, but it's like a 6-hour drive. That's not that far.
Yeah.
But when I'm already tired and exhausted and literally no one else can drive, that sucks. I have to stay awake. I have to be safe. I have 6 people's lives in my hands. You know
Yeah,
what
I
mean?
get that. As
That's
someone who
scary.
doesn't drink either really a lot, like I get
Like
that.
being the DD is cool, and I take pride in that. But at the same time, like it's a lot of pressure, and so it's really cool not having to deal with that ever. And it's rare, but it happens, and I'm like, yo, this is sick. It would be amazing to be at the point where Boo's at, where you're in the U.S. and you don't have to drive at all, bro. Yeah. You got a fucking bandwagon,
Hey,
you got a
one day,
driver.
right?
I know what you mean.
Yo, very
I know what
soon.
you mean, kinda. You like at some point of driving so much, you just get tired of driving.
Oh my
And you're
God,
just
yeah.
like,
Yeah, you're not tired. You don't want
any
to
chance you get not to, you'll take it. But
Well, that's the thing about tour, dude, that like, everyone's like, you're living the dream, and it's like, yeah, we are, but you need to understand that this is just
taxing.
as much a job, if not more, than any job on the planet.
Yeah, because technically you're working 24 hours a day until you're off
I
the
mean,
tour.
like, no joke, you are basically working 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even lie, dude. Like, if I'm not driving, if I'm sitting in the, like, I'm either literally answering messages on Messenger or Instagram for, like, fans or sessions, or I'm working on my laptop. If I'm not driving, I'm working on my laptop, like, editing drums or programming drums or something. I'm working on something. And then when you get to the venue, as soon as you get to the venue, it takes like 2 hours to load and set everything up, and then you have just enough time to like do this or eat. This is my only free time, like right now. I can do this or eat, and then you play, and then you pack up, and then you're driving again. Literally every day. That's literally it. Every single day. There's like maybe like an hour or 2 hour window where you can do what you want.
Yeah.
Only if you don't have anything else to do, which we always do. So it's like, bro, like this is really fun, but like don't get it twisted, bro. Like,
Yeah,
don't act
it's
like
work.
we're
It's
not
100% work.
Right, exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Yeah. Because
Can't thank it enough. Actually.
it just bugs me sometimes because like I'm grateful as fuck and this is amazing, but like I don't like when people act like
talk down on it. And make it
right.
seem like, oh,
I don't
yeah,
like
I
when
get
people
that.
think that it's literally
It's not a job. They're
when
like,
it's
oh,
that
you're
it's
just
literally cocaine and fucking booze and fucking chicks all the time,
Yeah,
and the only work is playing a show.
maybe in the 80s.
No,
you know?
now to be realistic, if you're Metallica or like a band like that, like yeah, you don't fucking do anything. You literally only play. You don't do anything. But there's so few bands, dude, that are that big now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's so few bands that get $1 million. Like, you know, Slipknot has like a $750,000 guarantee
Per show?
Yes, dog.
Holy shit.
3 years ago.
Oh my god.
The tour that was Slipknot, Behemoth, Gojira, and Volbeat. Yeah, that was like almost $1 million tour package.
What?
God damn.
Almost.
Holy shit.
It was like over $800,000 tour package.
And that's the worst possible thing to happen.
Wow.
Serious.
Thanks for that.
Wow. Sorry, kids.
All right, we're good.
I love people here.
Amazing. That was amazing.
Out of every car in Asbury Park.
The one in front of us.
Yeah,
right?
the one in front of us goes off.
Thank you, ladies.
I was wondering if you have any crazy tour stories, show stories from your experience
Holy shit. What kind do you want?
that won't get you in trouble.
What kind do you want?
The
Ooh,
craziest, you can
ones.
tell
The
without
ones that
getting in
you
trouble.
want to tell us?
Yeah, something you're like, something that comes first to your mind. You're at a party,
I'll
you're
tell
like,
you.
listen
I'll
to
tell you
this.
the most nightmare thing that's ever happened to me in my life. That it could never happen again.
Okay,
Nothing
I'm
could ever
ready.
be this bad. Most of my, like, I want to be professional here and say that this is like no shade towards the Faceless, because obviously I would not be where I'm at without that.
Uh-huh.
Period.
Mhm.
I love Michael. I'm very grateful for him. He did so much for me. I have no issue with him. Like, I love him. We've made up. Like, we had a problem when we all quit, and then I caught up to him at Summer Slaughter and apologized, and like, we're all good, so that's good. But it definitely was like, it was cool, but it was the most stressful thing ever. And an example of that was my second. Well, I only did 2 tours with them. The second one was a Europe tour. It was my first Europe tour ever. We were playing London for 3 Sumerian reps. So it was like the most important show, and it was like basically a sold out show in London. And because of like, Michael was using a very like basically the laptop from like Akeldama, literally like the same laptop from like the first album, and it had issues, you know. And he was supposed to have a backup laptop, but I don't know what happened, and it just wasn't set up. So we're going to play in front of these 3 reps. We go to start this new song, The Spiraling Void, at the time, for the new album that had just come out, and we go to start it, and 30 seconds into the song it just stops. And we look around and we're like, yo, what the fuck just happened? And Michael's like, oh fuck, I don't know. And he's like looking, like trying to figure it out. And then he's like, I think I fixed it, let's try it again. And we're like, okay, let's try it again. Literally the same thing happens. And so we're like, yo, are you serious? Like, this is in front of 3 Sumerian reps right now. And this was when me and Ken from Abigail Williams was the vocalist, who he later asked me to join Abigail for a bit. And then Justin from Zenith Passage was also on guitar. Me and Justin and Ken were looking at each other like, oh my gosh, like, we should move on. Like, it was only twice at this point. We're like, we should move on.
Yeah.
Michael was very adamant about playing the song, because the most important thing about this is I was asked to learn 15 songs for Europe. When I showed up, Michael knew 7 of the songs.
Oh.
I'm not going to say why. It's not important why. All that anyone needs to know is just that we basically had a 35-minute fucking set for a headliner, when our contract was an hour. And
yeah, that's
I
terrible.
learned the songs that I was supposed to learn. He did not. And so now we're at a point where we're headlining a tour and playing a 35-minute set. Obviously, kids are going to be pissed. So we only have 35 minutes of music. That's why it's important to know this, because we can't skip a song, dog. We skip a song, we have a 30-minute headliner set. People are going to ask for their money back, which they did, because that is not what they paid for. So now we're trying it for the 3rd time. Long story short, dude, that same thing happens 5 fucking times.
Yeah,
we
fuck
literally
that. Fuck that.
restart a song 5 times in front of an entire sold-out crowd, in front of 3 Sumerian reps. Literally the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life.
I can't even imagine.
Literally
what
ever.
the fuck.
Literally ever.
I
I
feel
would've
the
just keeled
second
over.
hand. Yeah.
Literally ever.
I would have just laid down on the ground and been
And
like,
so,
pack it up.
and also, not to mention, Another faceless story is the first time I ever played with them ever was on stage at the first show.
Not even to practice.
We weren't able to practice, and I won't go into why.
Yeah.
But we were not able to practice. I'll just say that.
Wow.
And my first time playing with them was on stage at the fucking first show. So, like, long story short, there's so many faceless stories. But to not go into them, nothing can ever be as stressful as that was.
Yeah.
And let me say again, I'm incredibly grateful that happened. I wouldn't change anything that happened. I'm so thankful that Michael let me be in the band and that all that happened. But I've got to say, nothing can be more stressful or crazier than that shit. And so it's great because now I have, like we talked about earlier, now I have like my cap of like, literally that can't ever happen again. It's literally impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So is anything that happens really that bad? No, it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Look
it's
at the
fucking
good side
sick.
of everything.
Yeah, exactly. You have to, because
Yeah.
it's always there. Even yin and yang, dude. Good cannot exist without evil, and vice versa. Which
Exactly,
means that in every single bad situation, there literally has to be some good. I don't know why. It's just the way that the world exists as it is. So you can know that anytime something happens, even if it's the worst fucking thing on the planet, as hard as it is, just look for that silver lining because it's there, and there is a lesson to learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to. You just have to go for it.
insightful. You
Yeah, I
told
was
us
about to
a very
say, I'm
good-
just sitting here.
Yeah,
You
it's
told us a
super
lot
down
of
to
things.
Thank you. That's what I'm here for, man. Like I feel like, as weird as this is to say, I don't feel like I'm from here. As crazy as that might make me sound, I really don't think I'm from here. I think I'm put on this earth not only to play drums, but to just help people enjoy their lives and realize that you have control over much. People have so much more control over their lives than they think. And when you point the finger or you wallow and when bad stuff happens, you're only hurting yourself.
Yep.
You know? And it's important. It's okay to, you know, to mourn or to be upset if something bad happens and to like let that wash over you and to process those emotions. But then you need to move on. You know? And so I think I'm just here to try to help people learn that having a good attitude and like literally just being kind to people and like looking on the bright side will literally make your life better. And I can promise you that, because when I used to be a more negative person, I used to be a little shithead, dude. I was like a little arrogant little fucker when I was young. My life was way shittier. Everything about my life was way worse. And when I started becoming more kind and compassionate and like listening to people when they talk to you, because you never know what somebody's gone through, you never know what somebody's been through, dude. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
And when you keep that in mind, your life will like transform, and other people's lives will transform. And then this shit happens, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here you are.
Like
Across the country.
I genuinely, I'll say this again, I genuinely think that all of this has very little to do with my skill on a drum kit.
Yeah, you
if
feel
I'm
like you
being
have
honest.
a higher meaning.
1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on
Yeah,
this
I
tour
understand
because I'm
that.
good at drums, dude. And that might sound stupid, but I
Yeah,
really,
no,
I just
no,
don't
it doesn't.
believe.
I
I just don't
100%
believe
get
that.
what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's because of everything else.
Yeah, it's like, you know, quality, not quantity. It's the quality of the person, not quantity of the skill.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. Because that's the thing. There's so many dudes that rip, but who can come on tour and be fun to be around and lift other people up?
mm-hmm.
And
A very small percentage of those rippers can do that.
And still play consistently. at
Exactly.
That too.
Exactly.
Yeah, a balance of both.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. cool.
What's like your, I guess not crazy, like best Shadow of Intent moment so far?
The headliner, last show of the headliner, the hometown show. It was like the January winter headliner in 2020. It was like a 2-week tour that we did with Brand of Sacrifice and Fury and Signs. And it was like a sold out show at Hartford. It was like 700 people. And at the time, no, I mean, that's still basically like the biggest show I've ever really played, I think. And it was just super emotional because that was the night that Chris talked to me about joining.
Oh, really?
And he had mentioned it before the show slightly. And there was just a moment when we were playing Gravesinger, and I looked out into the crowd, and I just saw like a sold out crowd. And dude, like I said, I'm used to playing to like, I toured for the first 6 years, literally playing to 15 to 0 people for 6 years.
Yeah.
Like literally. I've played to no one Like, literally no one. Like, the sound guy. More times than I can count.
Yeah.
Or one person or two people. That's why I'm grateful for this shit. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. So I looked out and I see a sold out crowd, and I just had this moment of like, oh my god, like this is it.
That
like, this is the
overwhelming
dream.
feeling.
Yeah, of like everything that you've been through to this point. Like, dude, I've been married. Like, I was married when I was 20, got divorced at 22. Like, I've been through like a lot of shit. Even just like the sacrifice, like selling my fucking bed and everything in my bedroom, like my dresser, my TV, my Xbox, like everything I own to get my drum set. All of that was for this. And so it was just like that moment of like just reassurance that you're doing the right thing, even though you wanted to give up so many times. Or like, you know, there's been moments where I'm like, oh, I'm grinding. I think I'm working so hard. I think I deserve this. But if it's not happening, there's a reason yet. And you can't get frustrated and like be rude to people because you're not getting what you think you deserve. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Be patient, double down, grind, and be kind to people. And I fucking swear on my life that shit will start happening. But it's the kindness, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the moment. Sorry to go off, but that was the moment for sure where it was like just realizing like this is it. And then it was super special because literally that night, Chris pulled me aside and was like, "If you want this gig, it's yours, and if you want to do the next album, it's yours." And I was like,
That's
fucking
great.
got emotional.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah. This is like my dream gig, dude. Like, I've literally waited my entire life to be in a band like this,
Mm-hmm.
and this is it. So
Fuck yeah.
I'm fucking stoked.
You guys got any questions?
No, what I was
Nah,
gonna
man.
say, I don't know if anybody's ever told you, you're just an amazing speaker.
Yeah, like I was just like,
Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
well
I
spoken.
was just listening.
That's, you know, I really appreciate you saying that because I literally feel like I'm not good with words most of the time. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of like trauma in the past and like people being mean to me.
Mhm.
Probably like just psychological shit, like everything. But I really appreciate y'all saying that because sometimes I feel like I'm not good with words. So
No, you're
it
great
means
with
a lot
words.
that you guys.
Yeah. For a
It's some
person whose
method.
job is to sit in the back of the stage and hit
Yeah.
things, you're extremely well spoken.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You just told us
Well-
a bunch of insightful, like knowledgeable
Yeah, I
stuff.
was
I feel
sitting
like
here
I've
like-
learned so
Thank you,
much.
dude.
I might as well be talking to the
Listen to
Dalai
that.
Lama right now.
For real.
Well, dude, the funny thing is, he fucking Brandon knows about this. Is one of the only few people I've showed this to. But I'm like obsessed with Circus Survive. Like, it's literally my favorite band of all time.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing will ever touch them. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. And I love to sing. Like, no one really knows that, but like I fucking love singing. Like, I love like circuit type shit is my shit. And over the pandemic, I fucking wrote and recorded an EP, like a solo EP.
Oh.
That's like Circus Survive type stuff.
Really?
And I'm gonna wait and put it out after the Shadow album is out. I'm gonna put it out sometime next year.
Oh, wow.
But that is like me trying. I'm gonna try and be at the front and see how it goes. I'm terrified.
Looking forward for that.
I'm fucking terrified, but I'm gonna try and go do the opposite. And I don't know how it's gonna go, but
Take that leap.
yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly
gotta
like
do
we
the
said. It's like
uncomfortable.
it's the same thing that I did with drumming. It's just like it's another like life lesson thing. Like, you have a gut reason for like a gut feeling for a reason.
Mhm.
1000%.
Yeah.
That overpowers everything. Don't listen to this. Don't even listen to this. Seriously, that is what you need to listen to. And every time it's ever told me something, it was right. And right now, it's telling me that I love to sing, and it makes me feel. I'll be honest with you. I literally enjoy singing more than I enjoy drumming.
Wow.
It actually makes me feel more fulfilled. So I'm gonna run with that gut feeling, and I'm gonna chase this. And even though I don't think I'm a very good singer, I don't consider myself a vocalist. I just like to do it. But there's people like Brandon here that are a very good friend of mine and are very kind, and they genuinely enjoy it somehow. And that means the world to me. And if they enjoy it, then that means that someone else will enjoy it. And the whole reason that I almost didn't do this was because I was so scared of what the people that wouldn't like it. But then I tripped shrooms and I got real with myself and I dove in and I said, what are you actually scared of? And then my subconscious was like, well, I'm scared that people aren't going to like it. But I was like, okay, but
Who
look
fucking
at the
cares?
greatest albums of all time. The greatest artists ever. It is inevitable. It's inevitable. You could make the greatest album of all time, and it's inevitable that there's going to be a small group of people that don't like it. And there's nothing that you can do about that. So you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for the larger amount of people that will do it. And usually it's a psychological thing. That small group of people, it's the same. They'll shit on anything because they don't like themselves. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
They don't like where they're at, and it's a projection of their insecurities onto you to make you feel where they're at.
Yeah.
But I know that game because I study psychology very much, and I know what they're doing, and that doesn't bother me anymore. So now it's not about doing shit for the people that aren't going to care, because they're never going to care anyway. It's about doing it because you feel that you need to do it. And my gut is telling me that I love doing this. And if somebody thinks that I'm fucking gay for singing like a girl, cool. I'm happy. Haters are going to hate. Exactly.
It's about doing it for you.
It's about doing it for me.
what comes along
and
with it.
I would not be alive right now without Circus Survives music, period. So if they have that sort of power, then there's no reason. We're all the same. We're all humans. If they have the ability to do that, I have the ability to do that. You have the ability to do that. We all do in different mediums. So I'm going to do this in the hopes that I can touch one person with my singing the way that Anthony Green touched me with his. That's it. And if one person, it changes their life and nobody else likes it, I still won. And I'm going to win regardless because I enjoy what I did. I cried my fucking heart out making this EP, like literally cried tracking every song. I got out what I needed to get out. So no one can say shit to me.
There you go.
Because
you
no
put
one can
passion
take
to it,
that away from me.
a
I'm
passion
super
project,
excited for
you know what I
you
mean?
that
Yeah.
you're doing
I actually
it.
really can't wait to hear it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
I'll send
I'm
it to you
excited.
if you want, if you don't show anyone. But I'll
Oh,
send
yeah,
it.
no,
I mean,
definitely, I
I'm
want
actually
it.
getting it. The only reason that it's not already out is because of insecurities, one. But thankfully friends have helped me with that. But two, it just doesn't sound yeah, thank you. It just doesn't sound how I want it to sound necessarily, and I'm gonna get it actually since Shadow tracked drums with Carson and Grant that I actually did the Galactic Empire stuff with, another Small World thing, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
We were already friends from me touring with them. Carson works with Anthony Green. Another Small World thing.
Crazy.
I show up in my Circa gear, and he's like, "Yo, you love Circa?" And I was like, "Yeah." Remember in Australia how like we were roommates in Australia, and I was like, "Remember how like every night I would be listening to Circa?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm obsessed with them." And that's when I told him, I was like, "Hey, I have this EP that I need to get remastered because it like the mix is fine, but I need to get it remastered." And so they agreed to fucking remaster it for me.
Hell yeah.
So as soon as this tour is over and I get this tour money, I'm fucking getting it remastered.
It's flat out.
Yeah.
As good.
Well, I'm honored that you say that. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, everybody's been, I've listened to a few of their
love
songs, but like Dance Gavin Dance is one of my favorite bands of all time.
yeah.
Everybody always suggests, they're like, yo, you got to try Circus Survive.
Yeah, and it's the same shit. It's like if this EP is 1,000% going to be for fans of Circa and Seosin and Dance Gavin Dance and like Emerosa.
I'm definitely
and
going to love it.
Any
I'm
of
definitely
that,
gonna love it.
you'll probably fuck
I
with.
love
like all
that era
those
of
bands,
music so much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I want to bring back like the early to mid 2000s like post-hardcore emo shit.
My
dude.
man's right
Like
here.
for real. Like the real shit.
We gotta
Like,
bring back Isles
You're
and
not a big
Glaciers.
fan
Yeah,
of Johnny Craig.
literally.
I love Johnny Craig.
I do
I
too,
never said
even
I'm
though
not
he's a
big
biscuit
fan of
head.
him. He's just my least favorite singer.
And
I'm
he
talking
does
about
his
silly
music-wise,
stuff.
like, you
His
don't-
voice is
yeah.
incredible.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no, he has a beautiful fucking voice.
Yeah.
I think
he
he's
has
the
a
best
soul
Dance Gavin
voice.
Dance singer.
Yeah,
personally.
I agree. He's my favorite.
Yeah. What now?
His timbre.
Kurt's my favorite.
His timbre is like
Kurt's his favorite.
Everybody
Dance
likes to
Gavin
bully
Dance
me
singer.
'cause I love
Me
Kurt.
and Chris both say Johnny.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Johnny too. He's my favorite. Yeah, it was Emerosa for me that sold me on Johnny.
Yeah, I can
those
understand
Emerosa
that.
albums. I
I
was
can
like,
understand that.
fuck, so fire.
So we're getting towards the end here,
Yeah, no
and
problem.
I had one more question about these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, two-parter. What's the best crowd response to a song, and what's your favorite song to play?
Best crowd response is definitely Heretic,
Mhm.
because that was basically the song that like started.
Right.
That was like the viral video.
Yeah, because
of Ben.
the ending is just
Right.
nuts.
That there was like this one cell phone video of Ben, literally, like actually the actual take of that.
Yeah.
that went viral.
I saw on TikTok.
And
like, a
because
while
of
ago.
that, yeah, that song every night, everyone is like, holy fuck.
they just go, wow. Yeah.
But for me, it's really hard. But probably Barren and Breathless
okay,
is probably my favorite
it's a
one.
good one.
Or Intensified.
I just found out about that because Apple Music was hiding it from me. So if you look right here and you go to singles,
Well, so I'll tell you why this happened.
I couldn't
So what
find it.
happened is we released the single originally. That single, by the way, should have over 1 million streams right now. It would. The problem is somehow there was 5 seconds of silence at the fucking beginning of that track.
Oh yeah.
So unfortunately, we had to fucking take it down and then re-upload it. And so we
wow.
lost every fucking stream. Dude, we were at 600,000 streams in like a week and a half or like a week. And we had to fucking take it down. So it's harder to find now, but it's still there. Thankfully.
That song is fucking sick, dude.
I don't know why I did that to myself. I'm a fucking idiot. It's so hard to play. It's literally so hard.
You gotta push yourself, you know.
That's probably my hardest one, just because I wrote it like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And I had to come in and like fill Anthony's shoes, which is fucking hard as fuck, because Anthony Barone is a monster drummer, like insane drummer. And so I was like, well, fuck, I have to like make the kids think that I deserve this job. And then I wrote that fucking song. I spent 350 hours writing the drums for this album.
God damn.
I logged it.
Did it for the kids?
I logged it. I did it for the kids.
For the fucking
I
Think
did
about
it
the
all
children.
for the kids.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all for the kids,
Michael
bro.
Jordan said fuck them kids.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
Oh, MJ, dude, what a legend.
But yeah, I think I gotta
that's
wrap
it.
it up here, man.
Yeah, no problem.
I really can't thank you enough for taking the time out of this. You know, even hearing like that you just have this little bit of time every day.
Yeah.
Thank you for
thank
This
you.
is
Yeah,
this
thank
is
you
how
for
I would
taking
love
it
to spend it, man. This is
and
the
coming out here with us.
this is the cool shit.
Next time you guys are around, would absolutely love to have you back on.
Please.
You know.
That would be amazing.
So-
Well, I'm gonna fucking live up here in December, so
Surprise.
anytime.
Regular.
Yeah,
Regular.
Just
yeah.
let us know.
Didn't you
We'll
say
be-
from Texas?
Yeah, I've lived in Texas my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're gonna
It's time for a
winter here is
change.
gonna be so different.
It's-
you
this
get,
is
like,
nothing.
0 degrees.
It's
Oh,
just-
trust me, I need a fucking. The first thing I have to buy is a coat. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
own one.
And get ready for your car to start fucking up
Exactly.
because all
Yeah.
the snow.
Get a
is-
snow starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas got snow. What, like last year? And it almost
We've
shut down?
we literally didn't have power or water for 4 days.
Jesus Christ.
And it's like Texas was like, our infrastructure is not built for this, bro. We're fucked. So I'm like, all right, I'm out. That paired with like fucking girls not being able to get safe abortions. I'm
like,
like,
I'm
you
out.
know what?
It's a rough year
I
in
don't
Texas.
agree with literally any of this, so I'm out, guys. Sorry. It's time for a change, bro.
But
Yeah,
thank you again,
guys.
man.
Of course.
It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
You guys have anything you want to say before we dip?
No, if we don't end this now, it's never gonna end because
Yeah, we're
I
gonna keep
agree.
complimenting you.
Conversation.
Yeah, you're amazing, dude. I love you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Peace.
One more compliment. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
coming.
thank you,
Of course. Thank you.